I started going to a Bible study that her sister was involved in. And so I got to know her sister, and her sister sold furniture. She worked at Simpson's and sold furniture. I talked to her sister Katie about buying a new couch, and she said, sure, I'd love to help you find a new couch. So I went to the furniture store, and Katie's sister Danielle was there.
I had just moved back from San Diego. I remember I was in a Bible study with the girls that we have a little small group, and we were talking about Hannah when she's praying and crying out to God for something that she really wants, which was a son. And I asked them, what is something that you're really crying out to the Lord for? And we're gonna pray for each other this week. And so we each went around, and I just said, I just pray that I'll someday find a guy who loves me and loves Jesus. And a week later, I met Lowell. It was a miracle.
A few weeks later, I was back at the furniture store again, and it just by random chance, or maybe it was more than chance, I ran into her again. And at that point, Danielle just, she invited me to play volleyball with her.
Lowell didn't ask me for my number ever.
So
I had to go get it.
So I was planning to ask for her phone number, but I thought it was a little bit premature. So it turns out that she dug through the records at Simpson Furniture Store with her sister and got my phone number so that she could text me. When I got the first text from her, I thought, wow, this is really cool. Now I have her phone number. So then we just started just kind of texting back and forth, and like I said, playing volleyball. Then I guess kind of the first time that we really hung out was Memorial Day weekend. There was a sock hop at the Electric Park Ballroom that she invited me to with some of her cousins and sisters. And after that, we pretty much started hanging out every single day. And it just sort of led into a dating relationship.
Yeah. So Memorial Day weekend was the weekend that we first started, so that's why you're all here on Memorial Day weekend.
So on our first date, like she said, we had already been dating for a while, even though we hadn't gone on a first date yet. I wanted to make it kind of unique to us and not just a dinner and a movie or some other kind of typical date. So what we did is we rode our bikes to, we have a bunch of trails here in Cedar Falls, so kind of rode on the trails, and then we went geocaching, which neither of us had ever done before, but I thought it was a really cool thing to kind of be out kind of in nature and also doing something adventurous at the same time. We went to Soho and we had sushi after that because that's one of our favorite foods that we enjoy together. I just remember having talked for over an hour and it felt like 5 minutes, and I just thought she was the easiest person to talk to, and it was just so fun just being there and talking with her and hanging out with her. For the proposal, we had been out of town. I guess it was a little bit spontaneous, so when we're driving back from Milwaukee, I thought, why not tonight? This is a perfect night, and it was a beautiful day out, and we had already talked about going for a walk that night, and I just thought, you know what, tonight is the perfect night. So we get home and we just went on a little walk at Hartman Reserve in Cedar Falls, and for some reason it was hard to muster up the courage, and
he was breathing really heavy while we were walking. We were just walking at Hartman Reserve, which is flat, and he's not even out of breath when we go running, and he was like really loud, and I thought, he is so tired. I don't know what's wrong with him.
I was just trying to think of just kind of the right way to ask her, so I just told her to turn around, and I just talked to her and just told her how much she meant to me and how much the time that we'd been dating meant, and just how much I loved her, and then got down on one knee and asked her. At first, she just started laughing, which kind of made me nervous because, you know, I thought this isn't a joke, this is actually serious. And
But I laughed through everything. Even kissing, when we first started kissing, I laughed. You didn't like that either.
so, but anyway, she laughed for a little bit, and then I think she kind of started crying a little bit when she saw that this was really it.
Christ being the center of our relationship is a priority that we have set and we want to continue to set, because as Christians, I think that's one way that you can stand out from the world in today's age where divorce is rampant. It's not an option for us. We're stuck with each other forever now. And just things like forgiveness and grace and trust and hope and thankfulness are things that we want to have a part of our life and our relationship and our family.
There's a lot of commonality in values and beliefs that we share through that that really goes a long way in keeping somebody together. When you are unified in that respect, it goes a long way, other than just personality commonality or other compatibility things. Also, I think the marriage relationship is a very good example of how Christ is married to the church, and it's a very good way to show Christ to the world by loving your spouse in a marriage relationship. So I'm looking forward to serving Danielle in every way that I can.
I can only imagine how fun it's going to be marrying Lowell, who's the coolest guy ever, and then getting all of our families and friends together. It's going to be super, super fun. So I'm just excited for the party.
Yep. And I'm excited just to make this commitment to Danielle.
It's kind of a responsibility, I think, coming to a wedding, because you get to hold us accountable to these vows that we're saying to each other. And so we're kind of inviting you into our marriage almost and saying, please help us. We want you to be a part of our marriage and our lives because you've been super influential so far. So it's not only an invitation to an event, but to our marriage.
Danielle and I just want to thank you for coming on this day and just witnessing this with us and just joining with us in making this commitment, and for your support. And we hope that this is a testimony and just a good time for everyone.